I got so many tweets last week when I said the rat from Ratatouille was named Ratatouille. Even though that is factually true, his name is Ratatouille. And now it's time for YouTuber news. Jeffree Star body painted the Dolan twins. A stranger broke into Colleen Ballinger's house and did a naked photo shoot in a bath full of milk. Yep, there's been so much Tana Mongeau news that we're gonna have a Tana Mongeau minute. And of course, it's the return of YouTuber Watch. Who will it be this week? All this plus I'll step into the WWE ring to wrestle with the greatest foe of all, my own self-doubt. On this week's edition of YouTuber News, hosted by me, Benedict Townsend, and brought to you by PopBuzz, the only website that knows the name of the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Tyler Joseph. Love that band. High hopes for a living, shooting for the stars for a living. Oh, that's all the fans annoyed in one go. Take that, children. Now, first story. If I said to you the Dolan twins have taken off their shirts, you'd probably say to me, Ben, that's something no one would care about. That's definitely not something the internet would be very thirsty to see. But it turns out, plot twist, quite a lot of people want to see that, especially when they have shirts painted onto them. And yes, this is a real news show, and this does count as news. Yes, Jeffree Star heard that the Dolan twins were planning to body paint themselves. And he said, whoa, don't do that yourselves. I think I know someone who could do a much better job. And that person's name is, and now I'll look up what that name is. Lipstick Nick, and I knew that name, and that's actually my best friend. So they went along to the Dolan twins' house, had them take off their clothes, and then they repainted clothes back onto them. It's the quickest and most efficient way to get dressed. The results were pretty impressive. It did look like the Dolans were wearing clothes, just really tight, thin clothes. I was so inspired by this that I've actually done a bit of body painting myself. I'm not wearing any clothes today. This is all painted on. I just have very thick, kind of cloth textured skin. It's a condition, don't worry about it. It just goes to show that the old saying is true. Sometimes you need to paint a twin or else your village will be cursed for 100 years. All right, next story. Our second story. You know when you go around someone's house and get naked and fill a bath full of milk and then get in that bath naked and then do a whole naked photo shoot in their bath? Me neither, but that's what happened to Colleen Ballinger. Now, to be clear, it was not Colleen who did the photo shoot. Colleen was out of her house and her good friend Todrick Hall, friend of the show, let's play that clip.
You're watching YouTuber News. It is wigging out.
Thanks, Todrick. He remembers doing that.
And you're watching what?
And he was house sitting Colleen's house, and one of his assistants, who he didn't know that well, snuck away from him, got in Colleen's bath, filled it with milk, and I do want to just ask, how much milk does Colleen have in her house that she can fill a bathtub? That's a question for another day, but that woman seems to love milk. She must have the healthiest bones. And he got in that bath full of milk and did a very dramatic, emotional photo shoot. He then posted this photo shoot on Instagram, where shockingly, Todrick and Colleen saw the pictures because they have the ability to see pictures and went, that's my bath. Maybe don't do that, you big creep. Now, they very kindly not named this person, they've just dubbed him Chocolate Milk, but fans are eager to find out who it is, and using our special YouTuber News identification technology, we're able to unscramble the censored picture that Colleen provided. So if we could just power up that machine, please, Mr. Editor, and if we descramble that, and oh, look who it is, it's Chuck E. Cheese, the famous pizza rat who sells misshapen pizza, allegedly. Last week I told you guys, well, I asked you guys to tweet #LoveTheRat, and so many of you did, and I love that you did that. And my good friend who runs the PopBuzz social media accounts did not appreciate that. To give her a day off, I would appreciate if you'd all just continue to tweet #LoveTheRat at her. Or actually, in the spirit of this hashtag being eternal, let's make it #LoveTheRat forever. And we'll spell 4 with the number 4, because hey, we're all fun teens here. Right, kids? Fortnite? No, all about Apex Legends. It strained my shoulder. Colleen ended her video by saying, I do clickbait all the time. Sorry, y'all, which is refreshingly honest. And she said, but this actually happened. Used bath milk. The only thing I drink these days. A third story, whoa! That was some incoming Tana Mongeau news. Whoa! Another one as well. God, this is going to be so much editing for my editor. Look how many stories are flying overhead. We got so many Tana Mongeau stories, I don't know what to do with them. I'm practically giving these Tana Mongeau stories away. Half price all weekend. You know what, folks? We got so many stories. We're going to have a Tana Mongeau minute. Love it. And that is, of course, the famous, incredibly elaborate and long to edit
intro sequence for Mojo Minute, a section that we do on every episode of this show.
So what has Tana been up to this week? Well, many things. Let's count it down, shall we? At number 3, Tana got sent a bouquet of weed for Valentine's Day by Miley Cyrus. not to be confused with Chuck E. Cheese or Jack E. Chan. Yes, the singer, who is known for both songs and dance, sent Tana a lovely bouquet of marijuana, a little bit of that jazz cigarette baby. Whoa, throw on some of that Bob Dylan. You know, references. Now, it's important to remember that both of them live in California, where weed is legal. So this wasn't just Miley Cyrus trying to entrap Tana with a bunch of weed. They're totally allowed to do this. It's not at that time I sent a bunch of YouTubers Drex, a drink I invented that's mostly aluminium. You know, that was a kind gift and a social experiment. Remember guys, if you ever get mad at me, the thing I did that made you mad was just a social experiment. And that means it's fine. And actually, you should be apologizing to me. This segment was brought to you by Drex, the drink that's mostly aluminium. It's so dense. Yet good for you. Ah! Love you, Drex. Thank you for the sponsorship. Number 2. Remember, we were doing a countdown. All right, buckle in everyone, because I'm going to now try to explain an intricate Kardashian drama. And surprisingly, that's not my area of expertise. My area of expertise is nothing. Except knowing, of course, about the 2001 family movie Ratatouille, starring Ratatouille the Rat, voiced, of course, by Danny DeVito. I'll tell this story as a fairy tale, okay? Once upon a time, there was a princess named Kylie Jenner. And she had a good friend who was, I guess, also a princess, named Jordan, and then whatever her surname is, Woods. Jordan Woods. But then there was also a troll whose name was Tristan, and he liked to play basketball. And this troll was dating Chloe, who was Kylie's sister, which I guess also makes, there's a lot of princesses in this, also a princess. But then allegedly, listen, we're already being sued by that goddamn rat, the pizza rat, Chuck E. Cheese. So please don't sue me, any of these people. But allegedly, something went on between Princess Jordan and the troll Tristan, right? So Princess Kylie's like, well, you're cheating on my sister and you're my best friend. No bueno, por favor. Basically, have you seen that meme where it's like, friendship ended with this guy, now my friendship is that guy? It's like that. Friendship ended with Jordan, now my best friend is Tana Mongeau? Well, that's how Tana Mongeau would like it to be, because she took to Twitter almost immediately when this drama unfolded and started auditioning to be Kylie's friend. Many would say too soon, but Tana Mongeau doesn't know the meaning of too soon, which is why she's one of our most popular and beloved entertainers. She tweeted, "It's so crazy because I feel so personally attacked by this Jordan and Chloe and Kylie situation. Legit personal. Like I know these people." And she also tweeted, "Where do I apply for the new BFF position at Kylie Jenner?" She fully atted her as well. You gotta give it to Tana, she doesn't do anything in half measures. Now, of course, Kylie replied and said, "Yo, Tana, you're my new best friend." No, of course, that never happened. It doesn't look like Kylie's ever gonna reply, but you gotta admire Tana for shooting her shot and making sure her shot gets shotted. This Mojo Minute's going on for an awfully long time, isn't it? Number 3. Roses are red, Christmas lights are hanged. Update, Brad and I just banged. Now, to be clear, I don't mean me and Brad. We haven't banged in a long while. This is Tana. This is a third thing that she's got up to. Banging. Best of luck to her with that. Hope it was great. And best of luck in future bangs. Beep, 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 beep. Oh, we've got a breaking news story coming through in my earpiece. Looks like Tana's got ringworm. Allegedly. She did a tweet where she joked about having ringworm. God, this show is really... Yeah, my producer is just telling me that ringworm tweet is a little bit out of date, as if that in any way affects whether we should report on that fact that she has ringworm. I think it's fine. It doesn't matter when she tweeted it. The fact is, she has ringworm. Again, best of luck with that. Best of luck with the banging. Best of luck with the ringworm. Best of luck with your new best friend. My friends, this has been a Mojo Minute. Was that it? That's our stories, right? Now it's time for YouTuber Watch, the section of the show where I focus in on one YouTuber and tell you what they got up to this week. Last week we did Phil Lester, and a bunch of you really appreciated that. You know, thanks Ben for covering a small up-and-coming indie YouTuber. And now, of course, I'll be doing an entirely different YouTuber. We do a different person every week. This week we'll be doing Phil Lester. It's time for Filled In. Wait, hold on. Phil Lester is the same person as Phil Lester, who we did last week. Well, I've started, so I might as well finish. Let's go, kids. Hi, welcome to Filled In. I'm Jack E. Chan. What's Phil been up to this week? Well, if you watched last week's episode, and I pray that you did, you'll know that we ended on quite a dramatic cliffhanger, where it turned out that that criminal who's been attacking Dan was actually Phil the whole time. And the fact that Phil was often in the room with the criminal at the same time when these attacks were happening is entirely irrelevant, and don't worry about it, kids. Now, I imagine most of you have spent the last 7 days on the edge of your seats, just waiting to find out what's going to happen with this cliffhanger, just thinking, man, I can't wait to see what Ben cooks up, and by cook up I mean reports on what factually happened, because of course these aren't made up stories, these are real stories. I can't wait to find out what happened. I can't wait to get that satisfying conclusion. So of course I'm not going to do that, we're going to ignore that part, and now I'm going to tell you about the time Phil started his own circus. It was 1993. Great episode of Filled In. I love a little throwback. By the way, if you have any suggestions for who I should cover on next week's YouTuber Watch, please let me know. Get in touch on social media, Bebo, Club Penguin, and just let me know, because as you know, we do a different YouTuber every week. And that is canon. This is the part where I just go onto straight autopilot. I'm just going to power up into this. Yeah, but it turns out this has been YouTuber News, which says every week right here on the With Unicorns YouTube channel. Don't forget, the best way to YouTube News is hit subscribe. You get brand new episodes delivered to you every week. And if you like it, hit like. It helps us out. You've heard this before. If you like the show, subscribe to the show. If you like this episode, like the episode, please. If you didn't like the episode, bon voyage. You're not welcome here. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for watching. I can't believe it's your birthday. Have a wonderful birthday, every single one of you. The fact that every single viewer of this show has the same birthday and that it's today is a miracle, and I love that. I'll be back next week with more YouTube news. YouTuber Watch. Maybe we'll do another Mojo Minute. And of course, full frontal nudity. All the things you love on YouTuber News. Have a great weekend, folks. I hope it's fun. I hope you get to do all the things you want to do. Of course, we'll be spending my weekend the way I do every week, breaking into Colleen Ballinger's house and having a bath. I mean, hanging out with friends and family in a wholesome manner. The second thing I said. Forget about the first part. I don't like milk. Milk's weird. It's weird and it feels so good on the skin. See you next week. Happy birthday! Ah! People on YouTube are not going to understand. You're going to have to go back and watch the show again on Snapchat to understand what I'm talking about there. Plug. Ah! Did you like what I just screamed? Am I just... Ah! Well, you chose to watch it. See you next week.